Hello again. I was doing some fiddling, and it looks like Windows is being weird again. Properties, default. There we go. Now we can hear the game. The Windows update last night messed things up as usual. Give it a hand to Microsoft, right? Okay, so the conundrum. You have a free account because you don't want to pay. You just downloaded the client, and now you're playing, but you realize, you know, my bag space is okay, but it's not great, right? And you can always go to the bank and maybe store stuff there, but you do have to buy that storage for a gold. And you have to buy it. Oh, this one's 1,000. Ugh. Let's buy this one. There we go. 1 copper. There we go. And of course, disable.
Have a good
I'm going to disable Arc Inventory for a moment because it doesn't interact very well. Okay, let's just purchase this. There we go.
See you
Now I'm going to
later.
reload my UI, and that'll bring Arc Inventory back. This is something you shouldn't have to deal with. I just wanted to show this, but
Good
you know,
day.
now you have all this bank space, right? Just for 1 gold. The next tab is, you know, a lot more
See you
expensive than
around.
that. They changed the way the banks work, evidently, since I last played. Let me re-enable Arc Inventory. Add-ons, break-ins. Let's just go to all characters. I always want Arc Inventory on because it's my favorite add-on. It's the one add-on I won't play without. Well, that and my add-on for the letterboxing. Okay, so you're in the game, and you're thinking, how do I get big bags? Well, if you're starting from level 1, like I did on a different character, like if I log over to this brand new character, Brinnet, or Brene, she's a little level 1 mage human, and she's sort of in Northshire there. You basically start out with no bags, right? But if you just do a little bit of questing, you'll get these little 6-slot bags to drop here and there. And they just automatically get equipped, and your inventory slowly expands. So you don't really have to think about bag space as much, right? It just sort of fixes itself for a little while. But let's say you do get to level 10, which is where you currently get the quest, come join us in the Dragon Isles, right? So if we go back into my level 10, you'll see the days of the quest, come and join us. This is where the magic occurs. I figured this out last night and this morning because I was building a certain way because this is what I did a few years ago. And I realized when I created this this other character that I have, this priest, because I just wanted to play a priest. I'm like, let's see how priest heals, you know, because it's just nice to try it out. And I just sent her right to Dragon Isles, and I started doing a couple quests. I thought, let's get her some tailoring and see if she can make anything interesting. And I noticed, oh, there's bags there. What are their bags? And it's like a 32-slot bag, and it doesn't take much to get there. Like, you don't have to do all this, you know, back and forth and level herbalism, level alchemy, convert and do transmutes. It's like, this is so much easier. So now I'm just going to do that. So, like, if we go over to that character now, she's level 20. She was in process of leveling her from 10 to 20. I was doing a bunch of dungeons, and I was doing that to get cloth, which is what you'll want to do. You'll want to run a bunch of follower dungeons, more specifically. I did maybe 10 follower dungeons to get all the cloth that she needed, but you can see her inventory now is really good, right? So she has a 32-slot Wilder cloth bag. She has a 32-slot Simply Stitched reagent bag. Notice she made it, and she made this one. And she also has a 24-slot bag and a 14-slot thick hide pack, which you can buy. It's like 12 gold, I think, in Stormwind. But if you have a little bit of gold, which you should if you've been doing some questing and stuff, you might be able to just pad it out, you know, with a thick hide pack or maybe another one. Because remember, you can't use the auction house to buy bags from other players. So you either have to buy them from vendors or you have to make them. So one of my tasks is to make my own bags. So if we look at my tailoring here in Dragon Isles, you can see my Dragon Isles tailoring is 42. I had to get it to 40 so I could make the bags, which are, where are they? They're down here. I wish they would sort in a different order. You could probably change it, but you can see the 32-slot bag requires 4 spools of wilder thread at my current skill level and 12 wilder cloth bolt. So the trick is you got to get to 40, And you do that by crafting, you know, things and leveling up and figuring out that puzzle, right? It's basically a puzzle. And then this puzzle is 4 of these, 12 of these. And you have to figure out where this tailor's work table is, right? So that's all that. That's how that all works. So if we go down to this tailor's table, which is down here, I believe, I was able to finally turn off the stupid flight thing, whatever it's called, skywriting, which I like and I hate at the same time. So if we come down here, there's a tailoring trainer, and here is the tailor's work table. So we can either go to that directly, or we can just open up tailoring, and notice it says, we go down to my bags, it says tailor's work table, and it's white. It's not red. Now if we move far away, it's red. Now it's white. So you basically have to be right here. This is something they introduced a long time ago in Classic, where you had to do certain things at certain places. And so they sort of brought it back in recent years, which is fine. It makes this space special, and it's all good. You just have to be there. You can't make your bags anywhere you want, so just keep that in mind. So how do you get that way? Well, obviously you have to collect a lot of materials. You have to collect a lot of cloth. Fortunately, cloth is very easy to come by if you just do follower dungeons. You don't even have to go to the Dragon Isles. Like if I go to Bricken's here, it can get a little boring, but if you don't really have to do much. You just almost really just have to show up. I like being a healer just because I like having something to do. But even if I just now hit level 10 and I was just a regular old DPS, I just go to the group finder, wherever it is on your screen, and I go follow a dungeon, Ruby Life Pools, choose a role. I'm going to go as healer. And you just run this thing, and I'll show you. Actually, no, let's not do that just yet. Let me show you something. This is important. I'm now remembering it again. Let's use the little Lost Dragon scale here, so we go right to the quest turn in. I remember just now, this is important. You do want to go to the Dragon Isles first.
Here is the hero I spoke of.
We're going to listen, but we're going to skip it. That's fine. Thank you.
Pleased to meet you.
Take these quests. Obviously, if you've done this for the first time, you'll want to like pay more attention because there's story and it's interesting, right? Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. We have, when you hit level 10, you get skywriting, which is better than nothing. It's not as good as having a regular mount, in my opinion. But we're gonna go over here. You can go really fast, which is nice, but it also means you have to constantly maintain your height, as opposed to let me turn off the sound so I can talk. As opposed to a normal mount where you just point yourself and go. Might be slower in some cases, might be faster in others, but it's easier and it's less work. And you can hover in the air. I'm just talking to all these dudes. And there's no thing to count down. Like if you run out of whatever the, bubbles are, you can't do anything more with skywriting until they come back. Fortunately, now that we're in the next expansion, they just give you all the perks, as opposed to starting you out with like next to nothing. Okay, we're going to do all this stuff.
Work complete.
No, thank you. Talk to Rathian.
Speak your mind.
Don't
do anything. Apologies.
Wears more than meets the eye with Rathian. I won't spoil anything.
Cannot wait for
all right, we're going to take the portal.
Rugged dragon scale. All aboard.
Once we're here.
Adventure, my friends.
Work complete.
Okay, we're going to turn this in. I'm not going to get any follow-ups. But what I am going to do is I'm going to get on my dragon mount, or on my mount, any kind of a mount. I'm going to go up through here. To this location. And I want to go over to the tailoring trainer and the enchanting trainer. There's a reason they're next to each other. They sort of work hand in hand many times.
Take a look.
And I'm going to train in tailoring. Then I'm going to train in Dragon Isle tailoring. Then I'm going to train, this is very important, Dragon Isle's cloth scavenging. This is going to make a big difference. I'm also going to do enchanting. Because a lot of things you make with tailoring, you're going to just disenchant it so you can level that up as well. All right. So now that we're there, assuming that you want to do these quests here, you can go back down. You can get those quests, of course. But what we want to do is we want to bypass all this. In fact, I want to go right down to, and I finally figured out exactly where this is, right? This is like right over here, right? So I want to go to Valdraxis, or whatever the town is called. Fortunately, yes, dragon riding lets you get there sooner, which is nice. And I don't pretend to know all the ins and outs of dragon riding because I basically almost never did much of it. I'm going to head over here. Head up a little more. We're looking for this big giant thing, which is almost due south of where you come in. So just basically head straight south. When these bubbles fill up, we can hit spacebar again and it shoots us up in the air. Dreams Spa. Relax in the Dreams Spa. I'm hoping that these things regenerate at some point. Alright, I guess I'll just have to do it the hard way. So I don't have a normal flying mount. Okay, I want to go up higher, so I'm going to let it get some more bubbles while I sort of make my way up a little bit. Two bubbles. It is sort of interesting to see everything when you're locked to the ground, because they did a good job designing everything. You know, it's very fantasy-ish. Okay, now I'm going to go up in the air. So I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go over here, I believe. And the tailoring is like over in this area, right? Yeah, over here. You'll figure it out after a while. Here's the tailoring, right? So you could come directly here if you wanted to. And what I did was I just set my hearth to the inn, which is right over here. Like, is it right here, I think? No, that's not the... Here, let me ask the guard where the inn is. The inn is... Oh, it's next door. That way you can come back here and do your tailoring at one of those tables. Now, I haven't looked out in the world to see if they've added those same tables out in the world somewhere. They may have. Okay, where's the innkeeper? There we go. Hey, innkeeper, let me set my hearth here. You can also learn cooking, which is not really useful here, because anything you make is going to be for characters 60 and higher, which is sort of an oversight on Blizz's part. That's one of my complaints about the Chromie time, where you can go to different expansions. Really, when you're my level, you can't make use of any of the food beyond like WoW Classic and maybe a little bit of BC and maybe some of Wrath. It's like all the food is like just really, really high level. So it's kind of annoying. But I'm going to come down here to where the tailoring table is, right? Now, I don't have anything that I can do yet, right? So what I need to focus on is Wilder Cloth Bandage and Dragon Isles Unraveling. Whatever's going to give me, mostly this, because this is more useful down the road, but you can also make bandages. I don't think it's useful, although if all you have is cloth, then all you have is cloth. We'll see how that works. So let's go to a dungeon, now that we have, let me pull this down into my tailoring, and enchanting, and disenchanting, and now I have scavenging, right? You're particularly skilled at scavenging cloth from humanoids, but I think we'll be able to get cloth from other creatures as well. Alright, so we're going to go in here, and we're just going to quickly show you how quickly you get cloth, especially when you have scavenging. So remember, he's a healer, so I'm going to pull my voodoo bar over. I'm learning these instances a lot more, because I didn't play Dragonflight, like, more than a few hours. Alright, so you take lead. I'm going to put a marker on you. I am going to sort of grab enemies
from the
and make the tank stressed.
Pray they have not infiltrated too deeply. Ensure the eggs are safe and eliminate any threat
I could
on these
tank.
sacred grounds.
Fine. Go away.
Reinforcements!
Protect Melidrusa! She must continue her work. Allow them no further.
When we get to humanoids, we'll start getting clawed. Like these are humanoids, right? They're humans, basically. I think that also counts ogres. Here, see, we get tattered wilder cloth. There's our first cloth-based item. Okay, there's some more cloth items. So we have 2 tattered wilder cloth so far, and some of these elemental items. I also want to grab everything on the sides. So that's the thing you can do with this dungeon is you could normally you'd piss off the tank if you pulled, but here I'm just going to pull everything because I want all the enemies to die because they all potentially have cloth. So I was just pulling the whole instance. I would just run around on my priest and just aggro all sorts of things. And you can contribute or not. The enemy NPCs won't get mad at you if you don't.
Allow you to disturb Melidrusa's work.
This is the first time I played Paladin in ages. So I'm trying to remember, okay, what are my priorities for healing? Fortunately, I only have 1 spell at the moment. Oh, I know I need to... Here, let me do something here. I need to put this... Where did I want to put that on enter. Okay, so very well, you take point. So enter for me on the keypad is, you know, send them or retract them, sort of a thing. So I did fix voodoo. I figured out how to fix that. Options, debuffs, custom animation icon. I want these to be half size, lower left corner, and right in the corner. Pretty much right there. That actually looks really good. All right. Again, we're going to go grab everything over here. It was really easy on a priest as a discipline priest because I would just bubble with a power word shield and the tank would never take damage. It's a like absurdly powerful spell. Actually, okay, we do have devotional.
My allies
Excellent.
sacrificed themselves so that I could return these eggs to their natural. You will not interfere. I consume you.
I'm helping.
These welts are pure. They will.
Healing on a paladin is a little bit more challenging, but can be done. Okay, so now we just got a wielder cloth. We got 6 wielder cloths so far. That's not bad.
Secured the pools below. I require your aid.
We would still get these cloth items. You just get fewer of them if you didn't have the specialization. If you didn't have scavenging, basically. And you can improve that over time. There's ways in the tailoring craft where you can make the whole thing more efficient. You can collect more cloths from things than you ordinarily would, or than even just with what I have now is sort of like the baby version of what you can get later.
Primalist is attempting to burn all the nesting areas. You must clear them to get to her. I will keep watch from above while I confront the dragon who is leading this assault.
Quickly, take the eggs. Save as many as you can.
See, I'm a bit of a punk, grabbing enemies before the tank's ready for them. But I can do that, and they won't get mad at me.
Well
That guy
done.
over there.
You have secured the first pool. Now,
Priest was really fun to heal on. Or a rather disciplined priest. That was always the one I loved to do back in the day. Back in Wrath of the Lich King. When I started healing dungeons.
clearing them out.
So we're just going to do one clear, and you'll see how many cloths we have, and I'll show you what to do next. Oh, we have to grab her too. That's a humanoid. All right, no cloth from her. Come on down, guys. Cool, we got a point. Come back to me.
To the master of these minions. Hurry
okay,
on,
so far we're up to 9 Wilder Cloths and 8 Tattered Wilder Cloths. Let me spend a point here. Holy shock. There we go. Alright, so let me figure this out. I need to add this to my voodoo, because I want another option for an immediate heal. So we're going to go spells. Right click is not Word of Glory. Word of Glory, middle button. And this is, actually, no, this is right. This goes here. Holy shock. And then I also need to put this up here so I can see the cooldown. Okay, excellent. See, now I can, when my health goes down like this, if I get in trouble, I just go right click, right.
Attack that
it's not casting it. Why is it casting
she
it?
can summon reinforcements.
Oh, did I define that wrong? Flash of light, right button. Oh, middle button. Holy shock, duh. Okay, let's put this up here. There we go. Insta heal. It's like an expensive last resort. Everything drops something useful here. Alright, there's the boss.
I will honor the sacrifice of my allies and torture you myself!
I can use Word of Glory. Okay, more cloth.
Vile monster.
Oh wait, that's right, we go this way. This is fun, watch this.
No.
I'm just gonna like make the tank really angry. Of course, the tank's not actually gonna get angry. But this would make a tank very, very angry if they were a human tank. Same thing down here. Did I get everything? Yeah. So like I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go all these air elementals. Come back. Grab these. Heal up. Do the same thing here. Go grab these air elementals. Otherwise, they don't ever pull. And these guys drop, you know, useful reagents for crafting.
Your false queen cannot.
So like those those air motes right here. Well, I guess they're rousings. Those drop from those air elementals.
Deal with these.
Who is better than one, my friend?
There we go. So, with this dungeon, thank you, followers.
Thank you, champion.
I'm going
The
to...
life pools are safe for the moment.
Did I
but the
do a
primalists
quest in here? I don't know if I did a quest or not. I'm just going to go and leave instance group, and then we'll look at the reagents that I have and what we do with them. So much easier than doing it with the Battle for Azeroth content. I'm glad I actually did this because this is so much easier. Okay, so I'm going to vend a bunch of this stuff.
I
It'll
have
sell all
many,
that.
many wares.
Alright.
Many farewell.
And I can probably put this on. Yep, good trinket. Alright, now we have elemental items and sewing items. What we want to do, you don't necessarily have to be at the table for most of this. We're going to go to Dragon Isles Unraveling and left click and consume not wilder cloth, but tattered wilder cloth. We're going to unravel those. Right? Now you could continue to do this. And it's probably a good idea to do this until you get up to like 5 or 10 or something. Like just keep collecting, because you're going to need a lot of these. So it's a more efficient use of your materials to not make bandages, but and you can probably like choose. Can you choose those other ones? No, you can't. Okay, you can only use wilder cloth. Like it may be that there's no other use for these other than. Oh wait, no, that's right. Yeah, don't make bandages. Just do this. Just do this. Just keep collecting the tattered wilder cloth, and then as you can, just make use unraveling to make wilder thread. Just keep doing that until you can buy your first useful recipe at like unavailable. It's at level 5, right? Or even level 10. This is when you can make your simply stitched reagent bag. So just keep leveling by just creating a spool of wilder thread by crunching these items until you get to 10, and then make your reagent bag. And that way, you don't waste resources like I did when I was doing it. And you'll have a nice reagent bag. Really huge. It'll contain all your elemental reagents, all of your cloth reagents, any of your reagents for any profession, really. Even if you don't use that profession, any ores that you happen to stumble across, because you never know. You might loot something and it'll have ores in it. But like if we go in here and we just hover over the reagent bag, you can see all the little green squares. That's where reagents are. It's almost everything in my bag fits into this very first reagent bag that you can craft at level 10. And it fits in the rightmost slot over here. This is like the normal bag slots here. I had to show those in order to swap them back and forth. But here's like the universal bag, but here's individual bags as they're equipped that you can actually see in here, right? Well, let's say that you want to buy some bags before then. Let's say, I like those bags, but, I kind of want to do some... I kind of want to buy some bags that'll tide me over until I make my big bags, right? Well, you can buy those in Stormwind, which is where you're going to go anyway when you do your quest for going to Dragon Isles, right? Let's go over here. I'll show you where that is, assuming it's at the same place. They're like, I think 12, 14 gold each, maybe. Which is not a lot these days. It's pretty good, actually. And there's other cities that have them, too, not just for Alliance. Like, you can go to, Orgrimmar, that has one. But basically, you're looking for the bag merchant, which I believe he's in the same building as the leather working and the skinning training, if memory serves correct. We're gonna go look there, and if he's not there, I'll go look it up. This is in the old town part of Stormwind. I didn't buy my bags there. I bought them when I was in Dragonflight, but let's see here. Bag vendor, there we go.
You need something?
So if you go here, you can see thick hide bag. It's with Stormwind rep, it's a little bit less, right? But this is the one you want. Nothing else here. I mean, if you can't afford this, then you know you can buy one of these smaller ones. But this really gets you good bang for the buck. It's 14 slots, 12 if you can't afford it. That's fine. But those will fit in all 4 of these slots right here. So like I could go. I want to replace the 6. I want to replace 3 of these. So 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to go down here and say, let's replace this 8 slot bag. And let's replace, I'm doing it down here because it doesn't work up here. Arc inventory is being weird. Okay, so there's that one. There's that one. And then there's this one. So you can see all the slots open up, right? And now I can just sell all these ones that I don't want to keep.
Be careful.
Now, I still don't have a reagent bag. Those are a little bit harder to come by. You have to either get those as part of a quest reward, or you have to craft them, or you have to have someone else craft them, and then buy it from the auction house. But since you can't use the auction house, you're going to have to craft it yourself, or find the quest that does that gives you one. It's easier just to craft one, honestly. But these bags will tide you over until you can craft your own bags, like I did on my new priest, who's in Valdrakken. I just want to go over that to sort of amend the video I did yesterday when I was going through this hugely laborious process of making 30 slot bags in BFA. Just, I guess it's no longer necessary. I should have done my research first, but, you know, I finally did, and here we go. Tailoring for the win, right? Now, if you do want to do enchanting, you can do fun things, like enchanting your rings. So if we look at my ring here, it's enchanted with a little bit of haste. So I did that. That's all I know so far. It's rid of haste. I need to create this, but it's unlikely I'm going to find these anywhere, so I might just have to do without that because it requires ore and writhe bark, which is from herbalism. This is from mining. I mean, I might be able to find those somewhere, but normally you would just, you know, you would either buy them from another player in the auction house, or you would have another character that has those crafts, and then you'd like mail them to yourself. You know, you'd go mine an herb and you'd mail them, right? Well, this character, you can't mail anything on a free account, so maybe you could go and get herbalism and mining and just run around for a while and just collect a bunch of stuff, you know, and then just sort of bank it, and then swap over to tailoring and enchanting, and now you've got a little bank of ores and herbs that you could use for whatever reason. You'd have to do the research and figure out, you know, how much is enough. But yeah, at some point the professions all sort of interconnect with each other, and, you know, to do this requires something from another profession. It's always been that way since Classic. And, you know, we used to like join a guild, and someone would be the herbalist miner, someone would be the miner blacksmith, someone would be mining engineering, you know. So you'd say, hey, can you make a this and this and this for me because I need it for this? They're like, yeah, sure, I'll mail it to you. And then 30 minutes later or an hour later, I forget what the delay was, you'd get it in the mail. They've since removed the delay on like the anniversary server, but the classic server still has it. You can see things I can craft next. Now notice how like this item is for level 70. Level 70. This is right. This is nice. You can put something on your imbue your legs with something, sort of like I did with the ring here. But the problem is, if you're questing in this zone, which is where you get thrown as a new player, Blizz has not addressed the problem of crafting being largely useless to you. Tailoring is an exception. You can make those big bags, and they're beautiful, and they're huge. I mean, look at all these slots. 32 slots. It took me... how long have I played? It took me about 4 hours to get to the point where I could make this bag. Because I was sort of stumbling around for a while, right? And that's most of that was I created this character as a level 10. It's a void, whatever. It's one of the allied races that I unlocked a long time ago. Normally, you'd have to level from 1, so it would take a little bit longer. It'd take maybe an hour to get to 10. So maybe 5 hours to get to the point where you could make all these bags, right? This one and then this one. But until then, you've got these. You maybe get this as far as one of the early quests in Dragonblight. Like, I did that, and I got a 24-slot bag, so it's like, yay. You know, that's pretty good. That was the starting quest that were, like, over here, I believe. Just gave me that bag. I'm like, sweet. But, I just wanted to show that, and if that helps you, great. And, of course, you can swap professions anytime. If you do swap back, you do have to start from scratch. So, like, if you did tailoring to get these bags, and you're like, shit, I gotta go to get ores and herbs so I can do my enchanting, right? Let's say you drop both of these professions. You drop tailoring and enchanting to go get herbalism and mining, so you can get the 2 things you need for this. Well, guess what? If you come back to tailoring, you're going to start from level 1 again. You come back to enchanting, you're back to level 1. So you sort of have to plan it out in advance if you can. And if you can't, that's fine. You know, you can go back and forth, but, you know, you're not going to remember anything. Now, there may be a way here, like there was in prior expansions, where you can restore what you learned before, like, I think it was, Legion that would let you, like, restore back where you were, or Wrath. One of them had, like, a thingy you could use to sort of, like, save your leveling state, and you could, like, restore it for, like, gold. I don't remember when that was, but I don't know if they do that here. They might. I didn't look into it. But that's a possibility. You could look into that yourself. That way, if you did have to bounce back and forth, you don't lose everything you've learned. But you just might. So beware. Other than that, have fun. I'm obviously locked to level 20. I can fly. I can quest almost everywhere in the world. I can quest this zone. Well, those 2 zones. Yeah. Forbidden. Don't go there. These 2 zones, here I'm not going to live very long. Here, I won't live at all. Here, I'll die less quickly than over here, but yeah. And then Northrend, we have Howling Fjord, Borean Tundra, Sholazar Basin, Dragonblight, Grizzly Hills, Zuldrak, and then you're challenged up here, right? You might be able to do these if you're very, very careful and very powerful, but usually not. Let's see, Outlands. You can go to most of these starting zones, so first zone here, second zone, third zone, fourth zone, and then fifth zone, and then these last zones are going to be a challenge. Let's see, Shadowlands. I think this is all open to you. Yeah, this is all open, except for the end zone, which is Zareth Mortis. So you can't go there. Draenor. You start out in Shadowmoon Valley or Frostfire Ridge. Then you go to Talador. Then you go to Gorgron, then you go to Talador. Then you can't go any farther because both Spires of Arak, Nagrand, and Tanan Jungle are the end ones. This is the PvP zone and some miscellaneous things. You can go there anytime. Let's see what else. In Azeroth, you can go through most of Broken Isles, right? You just can't go to Argus, which is like the end zone there. You also can't go to the Broken Shore. But yeah, you can go to almost all of Legion, which is the Broken Isles, which was the best expansion in my opinion. Other people are saying Dragonblight was just as good or if better, but I can't speak to that. Pandaria, you can go to almost all of Pandaria, except for these last zones over here. Everything over here you can go to. Well, not Vale of Eternal Blossom, that's an end zone too. This, I think, is the current expansion. Colteris, you can go to Tirgard. You can go to Drustvar. This is the Alliance zone. And then the Zandalar would be Horde. I don't think you can go here with a free account if you're Alliance. Likewise, I don't think you can go to Colteris as a Horde and with a free account. I think. Eastern Kingdoms, you can go almost everywhere except the Cataclysm zones, which would be Twilight Highlands and Bashir. And then in Kalimdor, you can't go to Hyjal and Uldum, which is down here. Everywhere else, you can pretty much go. It's pretty amazing. They give you just the whole world. It's like 85, 90% of the world you can go and play and just do whatever you want. You can even have, if you go to Draenor, you can have your own little garrison up to a certain point. You can't level it all the way because it requires like 5,000 gold. And as a free account, you can never carry more than 1,000 gold, I believe. So, you know, you're limited on what you can buy. If it costs 1,000 gold, you can buy it. You know, you'll be broke, but you can get gold again easily. But that's pretty much the state of things. I can't think of anything else to add. Obviously, I'm running my own custom UI layout, which includes my add-on, which has these black bars. I'm using Bartender for these bars here. I'm using basic minimap for this. I'm using what is this? Hide bar to move all these icons over to here. I'm using shadowed unit frames for this and that. I need to fix that one. I'm using Voodoo for healing, which is going to be broken soon in retail, sadly, in Midnight. They might find a way to fix it, but we'll see. Anyway, that's it for now. Just wanted to share all